Hey, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show. And listen, we are gearing up for something absolutely amazing coming up. We are gearing up for the Thrive 26 Women's Conference. And I'm so excited because today we're talking about why women struggle in relationships. And why are we talking about that? Because it's so important to us as women to be able to manage in relationships. And that's one of the things that happens when we don't know how to manage relationships. We tend to fail, right? And I have the most wonderful guest, my friend and sister, Dr. Gail Crowder, is going to be joining us on today's show. And we'll do that right after this. Dr. Gail Crowder.
Hi, I'm so excited to be on here. Man, I remember when you started the show, and man, it's just been amazing just to watch you grow, and it's just been amazing. And thank you so much for having me on here.
I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you're back. You are a friend of the show, and so I'm so glad. I'm excited for women to hear you really talk about this subject because you are an expert here. Listen, everybody who I know, everybody say, "Oh, do you do relationship stuff?" Nope. Not me, but my friend Dr. Gail Crowder, she can get you all the way together. And so introduce yourself to the Dr. Kiki Ram fam.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gail Crowder, and I am a relationship intimacy expert. I have been doing this work for over 22 years now. It's like time has flown. And I am here to serve and just help people really navigate their relationships, and mainly in the relationship space of marriage. Because, you know, when we get married, most of the time it doesn't come with a manual. And, well, it doesn't come with a manual. We create the manual, and a lot of times the manual has a lot of errors in it.
Listen, oh Lord, talk about that thing.
Yeah, I was the biggest creator of the manual with a lot of errors in it because I didn't see healthy relationships growing up when it came to marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, when I got married at the age of 19, had no business being married, and yeah, and so that created a lot of problems for myself and my husband. Mainly me was the one bringing the problems into the marriage.
Oh Lord, and we're gonna get into all of that today. But through it all, how long have you been married to Gil?
July the 20th will be 38 years. I've been married most of my life, literally most of my life. Yeah,
Oh my
and I can
gosh.
actually say that we're doing good. We're never Nobody's ever perfect, but we've hung in there, and we've been on the verge of divorce twice. And I'm not just talking about it. I'm talking about lawyers, and we spent money we didn't have, but we decided that we don't have a plan B. We're going to live in plan A, and that
Yeah.
plan A that God has for us to live.
Yeah, I love that so much. And you all are definitely hashtag goals. And I know that even for myself, I've been fortunate enough, number one, to have you as a friend, and my sister to be able to, glean a lot of advice from you when things have gotten, rocky between myself and Jamil. And I will say that you can't say that you've been married and not have problems, right?
Nope. And anybody who says that they don't have any, they're lying.
that part. And so we're going to be telling the truth here today on the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show, honey.
Yes.
So tell us what your biggest superpower is. You know me as a positive psychologist. Everybody has strengths. And I would love to know what yours are.
My biggest superpower it has changed and is developed into getting people to really understand that lying to yourself does you a disservice in your future.
Well, girl, please elaborate.
Because the hardest person to lie to is yourself, right?
Mm,
And with social media and all of these different platforms and all of these things, we have learned that we can lie to ourselves, right? And be something or present something that we're not. But
mm,
behind closed doors, when all the lights and stuff are off, because I used to be that person, right? I had to really learn, who am I and why am I lying to myself? Because
mm.
I'm good enough, just how I am.
Wow.
So
Wow.
my biggest superpower when it comes to working with couples and individuals is really getting them to realize you don't have to be one person in the street and be somebody else. You can be the whole person and be the same way in the streets, on social media, but behind closed doors.
Yeah. Authenticity,
Dentists. Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Is
And you sleep much better when you're not living double life.
correct.
You,
Correct.
you
I mean,
sleep.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
So that is
Mm,
my
love
my
that.
my 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 superpower, that I really get people, individuals, because a lot of times when you're living a lie, it affects all the relationships
Hmm.
in every area of your life, and especially the relationship with yourself when you look in the mirror.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
that's the most important one. Because if
Yeah.
you can't be honest and look in the mirror and be proud of who you are and who you become, then what you doing?
There you
Right?
go.
So let's that gives us a beautiful segue into what we're talking about. So, we are I call us high achieving women, right? And
Very,
I know
very.
so many of us
Yes.
are bosses, honey. I mean, I even got like on my desk, I have the nerve to have you probably can't see it, but this name tag says boss lady.
Lady.
And so when you
Yeah.
enter into my office, right, you entering into the boss lady's office and everything like that, we're highly successful. And you know better than even myself that so many high achieving, high successful women struggle, especially in intimate relationships, but really in a lot of relationships, because I coach in corporate America and I'd be like, good Lord, okay, let me try to, figure out how to help you, build these relationships. So the question is, why? Why do we struggle so hard?
Because again, the thing is that we want to be able to we have this goal in our head or in our expectation, right? And we go for it. We give it our all. We have this persona that we want to present to the world, but again, it starts with, am I good enough? Because behind closed doors, you're questioning, am I good enough? Am I making the right decisions? And all of those kind of things. And then when you're inside of a relationship, right, there's other responsibilities that you don't account for when you're making all of these big plans in your head and trying to achieve all of these different kind of things. There's only one of you, and there's only 24 hours in a day. And a lot of times we set all of these high goals and think we need to achieve them now, right? But we struggle because we have other responsibilities that come along with that when we said I do, or we got in a committed relationship. And so
Yeah.
that's the reason why we struggle so much.
You know, for me, I've been married to Jamil. This August will be 23 years. I know, I'm so excited. Um, and we now work together on a full-time basis. Whew,
Mm-hmm.
baby, right? Had this been um years ago, I would say that we couldn't work together because we had a lot of problems with communication and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're better because I feel like I've grown. But there's a lot of people who don't grow and we want what we want. Why are, when we're so high achieving, right? Why is it that we find it so hard to be flexible? Especially, I mean, I want to talk about like intimate relationships because you deal with marriages all the time and you see this every single day
Mm-hmm.
in your coaching as well.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because we begin to take the other person for granted, right?
Mm,
And we're operating out of order as well. Okay. And
Some
I'm
people be
guilty
like,
of
don't
this.
tell me I'm out of order, honey. Don't tell me I'm out of order.
You are, and I am too, and probably most of the people listening, right? Because again, we're operating out of order and we put too many things on our plate, right? And see, what we don't realize is that your spouse is the only walking, talking, living, breathing person that we cut a covenant with. It wasn't your job, it wasn't your dreams, goals, aspirations, or whatever. But we just think, since we got them, they're going to just be here, right?
Mm.
And so we focus in on making that dollar, getting that social media, feedback, all of those things, and we put them last because we figure they're going to just be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm guilty. I'm not throwing any
Yeah.
rocks. I'm just saying I'm guilty of that, right? But when you're operating out of order, the order that God said, God first, right? Because a lot of times we treat God like a stoplight. We do our prayer. God, I thank you that you're going to bless me today. I'm going to get this contract, blah, blah, blah. And the light changes and you on to the next. And you'll spend 5 hours creating the content and all those kind of things. But you gave the man that gave you everything 5 minutes.
Don't put your feet on my neck, honey. Don't.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me and everybody else who's listening. Okay, I'm just saying because I've been there, right? And so God first, your spouse second, everything else supposed to come under that.
Girl, these women about to fight you because
It's okay. I can bring out gay. No,
and I know you can, right? That's why you're on the show. But it's so funny the stoplight guy.
No, I'm telling you, we do it. I've done it. Like I've been at the stoplight. Like, oh, I didn't pray today. God, I thank you so. And then I'm on to the next. But I can spend 5 hours creating videos for my YouTube channel. I can spend 5 hours coaching and counseling other people. I can do all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But the person who gave me the breath to be able to do it and the creativity, I gave him 5 minutes. And then the man that I said that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, the only walking, talking, living person here, not my kids, not my title, not my education, not none of these things, I take him for granted because at the end of the day, I have nothing left to give him.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I'm tired.
You preaching, honey. You preaching.
No, I'm tired.
You a preacher. No.
I have nothing left to give. Not my mind, not my body, nothing. Besides, hello, how you doing? I'm taking a shower. Let's eat something, and I'm going to bed.
It's so, it's so true. I know that even myself, I have been like, tired and or leaned on, Jamil for a whole lot and stuff like that. And until I take a step back, I'd be like, oh my God. But here's the thing, right? I know that you see this because I see this often. Women who, yes, take their husbands for granted, but then somehow when I hear about people getting divorced, it be like these little things, like he didn't take out the trash on a consistent basis and he didn't do this. And I'm wondering, do you think that status or money, the amount of money that we make, goes to our heads to contribute to us taking our spouses for granted?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I say absolutely, yes. Because the thing is, again, when you get your titles, you get your education, you start making more. At one point in time, I used to make more money than Gil, and I didn't have no problem telling him. But he's a man. No, I didn't. I'm just being open and honest here.
Listen.
I didn't have no problem telling him. But at the end of the day, my words have power, right? And I deal with a laid-back man, but he's a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Right? He's a deep thinker, right?
Yep.
But see, God knew the tables were going to turn.
And if they only did to us what we did to them.
What we did to them. Exactly. If I could take half of what I dished out.
That part. We'd be probably divorced. Like,
yes. No, feelings real hurt. You see what I'm saying?
Real hurt. real hurt.
real
Yeah.
hurt. But
Mhm.
the thing is that you, when you get in a space where you, and that was part of the one of the reason why we were going to get a divorce the first time. He left my behind because he's like, if you can only take half of what you dish out,
Mhm.
and I couldn't.
I mean, we can't a lot of times, right? But here's what I want to know, right? We live in a very I don't feel like we live in a very relationship supportive society and environment, right? I think we live in a very individualistic society, and the messages that we hear a lot, especially when it comes to women, and then even black women, honey, you strong, you can do bad by yourself, all these messages, right? And so I want to know, in terms of like, what messages do you think we are hearing from society about love, relationships, and success? Because yeah.
I see both ends of it. I have single friends that want to be in a relationship, right? They have the success, they have the house, they have the, the all the successful things,
Mhm.
right? But at the end of the day, they're lonely, right? And the thing is that when you really talk to them, they'll say, if I could have made better choices, if I would have not put my car, my house, my all of these things first, and really focus in on me and developing me as a person, not trying to achieve material things. Not saying that I don't want nobody to have no house, no car. Don't hear my heart. But when you make that shift and you realize the material things are great, but that's not who you are, right?
Mhm.
And again, I get the opportunity, and I have been blessed to be able to coach people from around the world, and I've been able to coach and really rich people. I'm talking about people that they can put my house, your house, and their house inside of their house. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the same thing, is they realize material things are just things.
Mhm.
Happiness and
Yeah.
knowing who is for you and who truly loves you, and who you surround yourself with, not just yes people, right? But people who really care about you, that's
Yeah.
priceless. And
I,
so, yeah, I'm not
yeah.
saying not to achieve anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the relationships. Are you sacrificing a relationship that's for somebody who will love you, whether you have a car, a house, or nothing, and will live in
Mm.
a cardboard box with you for material things, for the titles, for those kind of things? And the answer is, I used to be that person, but to me, like, people who really know me know I'm going through my closet and I have given away half of
Mm.
everything I was able to achieve.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you realize what you just said, relationships are the most important thing. I can think about, like, I have, friends and people who I've known for, my whole adult life, who've necessarily been single um, the whole time I've been married, and they don't
Hmm.
want to be, right? And so I
Yeah.
think relationships are, important. But I think here's where I want to know your thoughts on how do you be this very ambitious woman? Because, I mean, I will say, I'm still very ambitious, right? The
I
women
am
I
too.
coach with, right? You are very ambitious. The women I coach are very ambitious. But I think that some of us don't know how to also pursue ambition and still have a healthy relationship with our spouses, or even our extended family. Let me even just say this: spouses or intimate partners are one, but also other people who we want to be in relationship with. Because here's the thing, it takes time and energy. And I've gotten called out. This is me. I'm being honest. I'm telling y'all Dr. Kiki Ramsey's truth. I've gotten called out by at least 3 people recently in my life who have said, I want a closer relationship with you. It don't seem like it's happening, and I'm kind of upset about it and everything like that. And I have 2 thoughts about that. Number one, I'm like, my time is so limited. right? I have young kids, you know that. And number two, I also feel like it's a two-way street. So if you want to talk to me too, you can call me too. But that's a whole nother story. Either way, I got called out.
Mm-hmm.
And these are people who I care about. Like, it's not like random people, but I'm trying to, figure out how to balance being in relationships and also still being, successful, balancing my ambition. So please give us some tips.
And like I said, I've been there as well. But let me just say this: every entity, whether it's a Walmart, whether you can list the most successful, everybody has a schedule. Everybody has a closing point. And if you don't shut it down to nurture the relationships that are going to be there past whatever you're trying to build, you're going to be lonely and your business is going to be closed. And literally, I had to do this. So therefore, people who know me know I only coach Monday through Thursday.
Yep. Same.
I only coach late at 6. You can get an appointment with me at 6:00. Monday, Wednesday. That's it. Because the people that I have in my life are more important than making a dollar. And I had to make that shift.
Yeah.
Friday, people know at 5:00 what I'm doing. I'm getting real cute to go on my date with my husband. That's not negotiable.
Right?
And it has not always been that way. Because again, when people quit calling me to be on their podcast, TV shows, all this stuff, coming to my conferences, which I'm grateful for, I want my husband to know who I am, and I want him to know who I am. I want my children still to be like, Mama, can we come get, a snack, or can we go hang out? I still want that. I don't want them to be like, my mother was so busy, we don't have nothing in common. She probably busy, I'm not going to call her or whatever. Those kind of things have to matter. And my thing is, if you're in a building stage, still make sure, because Walmart still closes at a certain time. They still have where they let the employees off at a certain time. Everybody has some kind of schedule and some kind of closing time, and you need to develop that now in order for you to have relationships that's going to take you beyond your business.
Yeah.
It's hard. And because especially when you're like, if I don't answer this phone right now, 5:00 or 6:00 on my date, I could be missing something. But let me tell you, if they really want you, or they really want your service or whatever, they will wait and they will respect you. They said Chick-fil-A would never, ever, ever, ever survive being closed on Sundays, because all fast foods are open Monday through Sunday.
And
but they're a multi-billion-dollar business because they said, this is our model.
This is our value.
Teach people how to treat you.
This is, baby, say that again. That is the truth.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's true. So what I hear you saying is, you just make time for the people who are important to you in your life. You just have to make the time, right?
You do.
And that's what that's what I learned. And so what I'm doing, for myself is just when somebody's coming to my mind, picking up the phone, or texting them or something like that. And then just remembering that these are some of the people who I care about and I want to spend the time. So I need to figure out what that then looks like in my own life.
And what I teach a lot of women, especially entrepreneurs or women who are high achievers, especially if you work outside the home, and even if you work inside the home like I do, I get dressed for work because I have to do a lot of different tapings and all kind of different things and work with my clients. But when my husband gets ready to come home, I switch clothes because I switch robes. And that lets me know that I'm off.
I love you. Always say that, and it always rings in my ear. I'm like, ooh, I need to go change
No,
my
because
clothes.
I step out of being Dr. Gail, coach, and all of these
Mm-hmm.
things, and I become Gil's wife, a mother, a friend, all of those kind of things. And I
Yeah.
realized that when I switch clothes, I switch roles.
Mm. Yeah, it is so. Oh, that's so important. Thank you for that. And I
You're
love
welcome.
that too because it's practical, right? It's
It
something
is.
that we all can. It's something that we all can do. I'm fortunate to have my own beautiful home office and stuff like that, and so it's easy for me to shut everything down, go upstairs, switch clothes, and do that kind of thing. But
But
sometimes
even
I
if
get
you're a
caught
woman
up.
who works outside of the home, when I used to work outside of the home, I would come home, I would switch clothes so I would know that I don't have to be in that masculine energy. Because a lot of times when you're
Mhm.
in corporate America or in the outside environment, you have to carry a lot of masculine energy for to get
Mhm.
things done, and especially if you're in senior leadership roles and those kind of things. And I had to realize, which I had to realize that I cannot operate like that and run a business and be like that in my household. No, I need to be a wife, a mother, a friend, a confidant, all of those kind of things. So that just helped me transition into a different role.
So, what do you think? What role do you think vulnerability plays in building healthy relationships?
I think that being vulnerable, especially with your spouse, is key, right? Because you need to create the environment where he or she can come to you and just get naked with their words, or just be quiet and not be where you're constantly asking questions. What about this? What about this? What about this? And that
Mhm.
used to be me saying, asking Gil 1,000 questions. He's like, gee, can we just sit here and be quiet? And I used to be like, huh? He said, can we just be quiet?
You're like,
Because to him, that was being able to be vulnerable and collect his thoughts and to
hmm.
formulate what he wanted to say to me. But I was constantly in that role of being in charge.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember when me and Jamil first got married. We went through a lot of issues because I showed up as the boss and all these things, but yet and still I married this person wanting him to be the head of the household and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't step back and stop trying to be the head. I'm like, what? And honestly, I don't think I knew how to step back. And so, what would you say to a woman who is a boss in her own household, right? And she's displaying boss or masculine energy, but she desires to let her husband or her spouse lead. How would you tell her to do that? What's one of the things that you would tell her to do?
I would tell her to literally sit down and listen to what he says, because they're constantly telling you that you are acting like the boss or you're leading, but we don't want to. What in the world?
Uh-oh.
What
Having
happened?
a little bit of okay, girl. Let's see here. It says it. Ooh, goodness. We are live. Dr. Gail's recording has stopped. So hopefully she will be able to hop back on.
I
There
don't
she
know what
is.
I don't know what happened. I was just talking and it just went off. But anyway,
It's cool. We live.
um,
We keep
what
going.
what I would tell a woman is really listen to what your spouse is saying to you, because they are talking to you. Gil used to tell me, well, when I would say, I would tick off 15,000 questions and and I'm like, you don't have an answer? And he was like, you didn't even give me time to answer. My thing to what I would tell her is sit back and listen to what he is saying,
Okay.
because he is speaking whether there's no words coming out of his mouth. If he's constantly being quiet, that means you're doing too much talking and not
Mhm.
enough listening, right? And
Mm.
if he's telling you, honey, I'm going to handle that, don't step in if he don't handle it when you think he should handle it. Allow him to handle it. And a lot of times women We say we want a man in our lives, but we run them off because we are acting like the man. And
Mm.
and it's true, and I can say this. So for a woman that is in a situation where she is displaying masculine energy, how to put it back is to sit back and analyze what situations has your husband has said, allow me to handle this, or be quiet,
Woo.
or whatever. And that's hard, especially with a husband like mine. My husband is not very talkative. He's not outgoing like I am, but he says what he
Yep.
means and means what he says, even if there's no
Amen.
words coming out. You can just look at his actions and know what you need to do. And so now I quit coming in there just and sit back and say, what is the atmosphere? What do I see in his face? And say, can we have a conversation?
Wow. No, that's so good because Gil and Jamil are very much alike, and I've had to learn how to just step back, close my mouth, you know, survey the scene, figure out,
You got to survey the
what
scene, especially
is
because
good.
it seems, for the most part, especially in my coaching thing, I see us big mouths always get laid back, quiet men that mean what they say what they
Yeah.
mean, and they not talkative. I don't understand. I never have really ran into two talkative people, but
Mm-mm.
we always have a big mouth and a quiet mouth.
We do, even if it's the opposite, right? Like it can be
It
the
can't be
opposite
the
because I
man
got some,
that can't be the man that's talkative
yeah.
in the woman, but it's very few that you see two people get together that
Mm.
they whatever, and so you have to learn not to overrule your spouse, but listen to understand and
Yeah.
not always to respond.
Yeah. So wow, oh my God, it's so much, and then and our time has gone by. And so, what I want to ask is, what advice would you give a woman who is successful in their career, but they feel unfulfilled in their personal lives?
The thing is that do you have are you comparing your personal life to your success that you have achieved outside your home? And
Mm.
realize that and say, what can I do better in here? Because this is what longevity looks like, right? Tomorrow businesses come and go, right? And let me just tell you, social media is not real. People post that they're so successful and they could not be successful as
We
you
call
think
it
they are, right?
fake book.
Yes. So my thing is what can I do and what energy can I put into this relationship to make it sustain and stop looking at my business, but look at this one-on-one relationship to this person and see what I can do better and what energy and what changes do I need to make that particular relationship thrive.
I love that. And so as we close, this has been, oh my God, this has been such, you've been dropping so many gems. But I want to know, like, what does a truly healthy, supportive, emotionally fulfilling relationship look like for a successful woman? What should it look like?
It looks like peace.
Mm.
It looks like healthy communication, not always perfect, but all you are listening to understand and not always to respond, and vice versa. It looks like that you're not drained and tired. It looks like it's happiness. It's freedom. It's whole, not perfect, but whole. And a lot of times we accomplish that outside of our household, but not with the person again that we said we're going to spend the rest of our life with, because we don't put the work in that we do to achieve, to grab money. But let me tell you, money will come and go, but the relationships that you cultivate around you will sustain you when you can't go to that job or when you can't run that business.
Yeah, I love that so much. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I think women are going to be able to take some of these nuggets away and really apply them to their lives. But also, if they wanted to, they could come see you live and in person at the Thrive 26 Women's
So excited.
Conference,
I'm so
which I'm
excited.
so excited by it. So, the Dr. Kiki Ram family, you've probably seen this going around, but this year I'm hosting the Thrive 26 Women's Conference. It's right here in Atlanta, Georgia on July the 10th through the 12th. And our theme this year is It's Time to Level Up. What you will learn in this conference are strategies, tools, connections that help you level up in your career and your business. And if you are a coach specifically, we're going to have our pre-conference is called the High Earning Coach Intensive, where we're going to be teaching you how to build high earning coaching businesses, because we know that there are a lot of people going on around here who, you know, ain't got credentials, who ain't got, it's a lot of stuff going on, right? And me and my partner Chelsea calls them Insta coaches, and we've seen that, you know, happen just even recently on in the social media's world. And so we're going to teach you how to really build a legitimate, profitable coaching businesses, because it's very dear to my heart. And you, Dr. Gail, are actually speaking on the coaches panel. And I'm so happy. And one of the reasons why I'm so happy is because as a coach, you are a relationship coach. I need people to see that coaching is not just traditional coaching within corporate America. So I want to ask you, you know, what made you get into the relationship coaching space versus like me? I'm in corporate America. I'm like one of the top career coaches, positive psychologists out there, but our coaching businesses are completely different.
Well, the reason why I'm going to be open and honest, the reason why I got in this space is because of what we talked about today. I was thriving. I was in corporate America doing wonderful, running, you know, a staff of, you know, that I used to work for a well-known newspaper, and running a staff, selling, doing all kind of stuff. But when I came home, I was a different person. And my husband told me one time, I was like, come post a picture, you know, with me. And he told me, I'm not posting another picture with you until you go on there and tell the truth how you really are behind closed doors. No, I'm being honest.
Woo,
He said, if you would put that same energy into this marriage that you do at your job and act the same way you do and talk to them real nice, and you come home and, you know, be who you are, really. He said your voice would touch the world if you would just go and tell the truth how you really are behind closed doors. That's why I got in this relationship space, because I did not want the person that I said I wanted to spend the rest of my life with see me doing wonderful at work, but was miserable when I came home.
Yeah. You taught me that lesson as well. I don't know if you know that, but I you know, early on, because we've been friends forever. Early on, I would come home and I would, you know, treat Jamil and the kids, you know, like crap. And then, but to the world, I'm you know, keeping
and then I'm like,
busy.
hello, how are you? Oh, and then give what you want.
Exactly, that part. And so I vowed, after I learned the lesson, right? We went through some things, but I vowed to never treat anybody outside of my house better than I treat the people inside my house. I vowed that I was never going to do that again, because the people inside my house, I'm responsible to them, right? The people outside of my house, not so much.
Because they can be on to the next. But the people inside your house, they got stake in you.
Exactly. And so thank you for that lesson, first of all. And so that's what, see, y'all are going to learn stuff like this, right? At Thrive 26, Gail is going to be dropping all these kinds of gems, how she built this, you know, highly successful relationship coaching space. You have thousands of followers on YouTube and TikTok and all of that. So if y'all want to learn from the great, y'all need to be at Thrive 26 Women's Conference this year. So is there anything else you want to leave the Dr. Kiki Ram fam with about, you know, women and growing their relationships, or about, you know, your excitement about the conference.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, get your house in order, and it starts with you, right? The hardest person you to lie to is yourself, right? So get yourself in order. God first, your spouse, your significant other second, everybody else in your business and all that kind of stuff come from under that. And is it hard at first? The answer is yes. But when you get your house in order, I'm telling you, the structure and this foundation will stand beyond you closing or opening your business. And the other thing is that I had the privilege of being a part of Thrive 25 last year, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not talking about fluff stuff. People actually left there with a game plan to launch, to start, or to grow their businesses. And I'm not just saying that because Kiki is my friend. Literally, I came home with a different strategy and did some tweaking and stuff like that. That's why I'm launching the Seduction Vault. Some other different things that literally can free up my time even more to pour into my husband and my family and my children and my grandchildren and those kind of things. So the thing is when you come to Thrive, you have to be open and willing to say, you know what? This is what I want to achieve, and these are the goals that I have to do, and this is the work I have to do, but I also need to be a whole person outside of the titles in my business.
Yeah, I love all that. Thank you so much. And Thrive 25 was amazing.
It was amazing.
It's amazing. But before we go, I do want you to shout out the Seduction Vault and tell people what you got cooking, because I think it's awesome. Hopefully I ain't putting you on the spot, but I just
no. Well, the Seduction Vault comes because everybody doesn't have time to get on my calendar, and so the Seduction Vault is a vault that has everything that if a woman wants to know what her husband is thinking, is in the vault, and then vice versa. If a man wants to know what we're thinking when it comes to intimacy, love, and amazing sex and marriage and communication, all that kind of stuff is in his vault as well. And then there's a couples vault. And right now I'm just join the wait list. So if you go to drgailsvault.com, drgailsvault.com, and join the wait list, I will be opening up the vault next month, and I'm really, really excited about it.
I am so excited about this vault, honey. I'm gonna be all up in the vault because things I want to know and I need to know.
Yeah, it's a safe place where you can do it at your own pace, and there's a lot of teaching, just a lot of worksheets that you can download, a lot of different information over my 22 years of working with couples from around the world that men want us to know, but they don't want to say it. I didn't put it in the Wives Vault. And when I say I didn't put it in there, I didn't put it in there. Why they want sex all the time? Why you say crazy stuff to them? All of this kind of stuff that they want us to know is in there, and vice versa. What we women want you guys to know about us.
Absolutely. And so, y'all, get your name on the wait list for the Seduction Vault that is going to be opening its doors next month. And so thank you, friend, for,
Thank you for having me.
Joining us on the Dr. Kiki Ramsey Show. Again, I just can't wait to be with you in about a month.
I know, it's crazy.
A little while to go before the conference. So again, Thrive 26 is July 10th through the 12th right here in Atlanta, Georgia. You can go to drkiki.com and click on the tab for Thrive 26 to see all the details, ticket prices, all of that, and register for your hotel. And I can't wait to see you there in person. I want to hug you, all of those things. I want to be with you in person. And so there you have it. Of course, you all know that you have the ability to go out there and create your own happiness. So that's your job. Go out there and do it. All right, y'all. Love you. Peace.